La. Welcome back. This is episode 3. Episode 3. Well, it's episode 40. Episode 42, but episode 3 of Abu Dhabs. Yes, I have these. Yes, I do. That is from the. They were left outside my door yesterday from the landlady of Hove and Brighton, or Brighton and Hove actually. There's my safety gear. Here we go. There we go. Gonna spritz for you. I'm just gonna check my face isn't in. I should check this before. I know. Oh, I can't. If I walk away, of course I can't see. Right. Good. Hello. How are you all? Here we go. Gradient, Cloudberries. We love them. Family run. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Right. Welcome back. Now, something that's really, really made me laugh is that I was talking to someone yesterday on the Zoom, and they said to me, "Are you doing the jigsaw in your room when you're not recording?" And I said, no, because the point is that I'm meant to be doing it only when I record. But then I suddenly thought, literally just then, I don't really have time to sort of wait. I haven't got time to sort of wait to only record half an hour a day and do the jigsaw, because all that's going to happen is that when I start work I won't be able to do it. So all we're going to end up is this lovely mat that I bought, and this is going to go all back in the box and go home. So I'm going to, it's only the only rule that I've created for myself that I don't do the jigsaw outside of recording, because originally it was meant to have guests and we were meant to be doing it together and all of that, but because of lockdown and COVID and people coughing everywhere, can't have them all. The only person I've had in is the Tiger King of Croydon, and everybody else I joined in who came round in the end. The boys have moved anyway. So the point is, what I'm basically saying is I'm going to have to do some of this jigsaw when I'm not filming, because otherwise this isn't going to go much further. But I sort of didn't even think of that until just then. So yes, I suppose it would be quite nice for you to see me doing a jigsaw a little bit, because that is essentially the point, I imagine. Rather than me continuously crack open boxes of jigsaw, chat, do that, and nothing happens. Right, well, good news for everybody. Well, mainly me, because it gives me some material. I've had some emails from the classics. So, Score of Scotland. He clearly had a notification. Some people haven't had them on notifications to say that this is pinged back. Some people have, not everybody has. So, but Score of Scotland did, which is very pleasing. So he says, "Dear Julia, all the common courtesies," quite right too. He says, what's he said? "Tell me about the films on the plane that you watched over, on the way over." Well, do you know what is worrying me since you wrote that, and I've even looked online, but we've gone into November now, so that the planes have actually got, the films have gone off the Etihad playlist, because that was in October, even though I watched them 5 days ago, and I'm stuck in quarantine and haven't had loads to think about apart from just catching up with things. I literally cannot remember, and I knew that they were brilliant films. I thought, God, they're brilliant films, I've got to tell everybody about those two. And I cannot remember what the 2 films I watched on the way over. I knew that I didn't want the journey to end until I'd finished it. Can't remember, Scott. I literally cannot remember, which is sort of worrying me on 2 levels. One, I've just got to move my tea cakes. Oh, well, one, that I can't remember them, and it was only 5 days ago. So isn't short-term memory the one that gets affected first? Oh, so I'm worried now. Hopefully it will come to me. But I have been completely obsessed by watching on Netflix The Queen's Gambit. Oh my God, you've got to watch that. I know that Liz in her utility shorts has watched that. It's so good, to the point that, and this is horrendous, and I have confessed to Bethany, my daughter, that Bethany messaged yesterday saying, "Can we do a quick Zoom?" And I said, "Oh, sorry, Bethany, I'm in the middle of a work thing." I literally lied to my own daughter because I was so into this particular episode. That is horrendous, isn't it? What have I become that I'm saying to my daughter? I literally outwardly lied. I mean, I had to fess up later when I did. I said, "Look, I'm not being funny, Beth, but it was terrible mothering." But I did say, I did tell her. Anyway, so yes, Queen's Gambit, I can't tell you what watching the plane, babes, but I can tell you that Queen's Gambit is amazing. I've watched all of the I'm a Murderer, heartbreaking, but I cracked them all out yesterday. What else has Scott say? So Scott's been working. He's a filmmaker and cameraman and all-round good egg. And he said that he's been working a lot, but now due to the second lockdown cracking on, he can't. So he's bought a lot of paint to do DIY. Well, hopefully you'll send me pictures. I want to see pictures, and also I might employ you. I might have to get you into a bubble because we need decorators. Because our ceiling has collapsed in the lounge, and it all needs a spring clean. And where water came in through Fred's window, that's horrendous. So we need that done. So that I might employ you, and I might have to fly you down. It'll only cost about £3, because nobody's going on flights, are they? What else has he written? Yeah, right. So he has said he is thrilled to hear about Liz's new trousers, as we all are. He has said, I'm sorry, I'm turning to the side of it, so the sound's going to go that way. But he says he is a big advocate of workwear trousers, and I'm going to read it out. Hang on. He says he's a big advocate of workwear trousers, and he had gained a reputation on set for always having easy access to tools, camera tape, lens cloths, hand sanitizers, and a never-ending array of pockets. He's glad to not be, he says, I am glad to not be alone. Well, that raises a lot of issues for me, Scott, obviously, that's your reputation. I mean, I once had a reputation in the 80s, actually. I would also be able to rummage around in a pair of trousers to find easy access to tools, and no sanitizer in those days, which is a shame because I could have done with some hand sanitizer. So yeah, we could all bandy around the word reputation. But I didn't. He's also said, which I took it as his last line was, hopefully you'll get some edge pieces done. Now, I took that to mean a very unsubtle message about saying to me, start getting edge pieces. And I think he's correct, because it's all very well me just throwing piles of colours around, but I think he might be right. So I'm going to try and get edge pieces for you. I don't know where this camera is, you see. I'm definitely going to do edge pieces. I think that's a good idea. So I'm going to have colours, but I should start putting edge pieces. I think do you know what? Those masks get everywhere, don't they? Right, so I will do that, Scott, because I left your very unsubtle message I'm actually adhering to. And just the thought of you with your utility pockets now is making me a bit goosey, but I do think I should get you in touch with Liz so you can sort of talk about them. Maybe Liz, now having been sponsored by Rohan, she could maybe, like sponsored by Merrill, I beg your pardon, should now be caught up by Rohan trousers. Maybe yours are Rohan as well. I can feel a lot of judging from my end coming on. Look, I'm getting some edge pieces. I think he's right. He likes utility trouser, but he also might be correct. Right, also, good news. I have had an email from Eddy Spageddy. Eddy she wrote to me, she found me. She said she's a recent viewer, recently discovered JigJaw, and it made her howl. Well, I've had a lot of people have that reaction. Oh, howl with laughter. Okay, so you were howling with laughter, thank goodness. I've had other people not quite the same reaction. So that's very nice, and she's pleased that it's come in time for lockdown too. Well, that's so inadvertent that this is happening, but yes, maybe I meant to just do this in lockdown, even though I had no idea that it was coming, particularly as I'm stuck in a hotel room. Here we go, I'm still on tag, still on my tag, look. There we go. In fact, it is, I keep thinking I must take my watch off, and then I realise I can't. And if I do take it off, somebody will turn up and find me £10,200. So I'm not going to do that. Here we go. I actually score a Scotland. It's quite a good idea, the edge piece thing. It's quite a relief also to not have even though this is 2,000 pieces, it's quite a relief to not have 5,000 pieces in front of me, because it was quite intimidating. Again, all my own doing, all my own fault. But yes, I think the edge pieces are a good idea, Scott. Also, I can also feel that if I start, because I do absolutely love jigsaws, I also feel now that when I come out of quarantine, and have to start working, I'm going to really begrudge it more, because all I'm going to want to do is be paid to sit and do jigsaws, which currently, based on the fact I have 87 subscribers, is actually never going to happen. So the fact that I'm out here to work is going to be completely in the way of me finishing this. Yeah, anyway, I'll have to work that out. What else? Right, Eddie says, could you tell me some of your hotel hacks? You know, like buttering your bread with a spoon when there are no knives, and boiling eggs in kettles, etc. Have you got any other interesting stories? Right, okay, so because of quarantining here, you're not allowed to have actual cutlery. Everything's arriving in plastic, everything's disposable. Although I did get snuck in by some lovely person in the hotel. They snuck me some proper knives and forks in. So I'm just washing those regularly, because the plastic knives and forks, well, you can't cut anything, can you? So you cut a bread roll and it just snaps, and then you've ended up with half a. Do you know what I mean? It's very demoralising, isn't it? So anyway, I've got that. What my top tips are really, I'm not very good, right? So like Nathan in Australia, whose face would never change. He's like the Peter Pan of Australia, right? He unpacks and it's beautiful, right? It's absolutely beautiful. Everything's a bit like Matt, my husband. When we go away, he unpacks immediately. I just take my travel stuff off. I go and put my swimming costume on, and I head down to the swimming pool. And I think, oh God, you can unpack later. But he gets all settled. It's not me. But even in my hotel in my own room, this is the first time ever I've unpacked, and that's only because I've been stuck in a hotel room. But normally I like to churn the suitcase like a tsunami, because I can't be bothered to unpack. I feel it's a complete waste of time, even though I know it's not. It's completely useful, obviously, because you can find your clothes. But what I do is I sort of churn it round and round and round, so it looks like a tsunami. So I have suitcases open. I annoy myself. I hate the whole thing that I'm doing. But it just happens. Have I had to do anything interesting here? No, the tea case, the most exciting thing that's happened here. I'm just trying to think. Years and years ago, when I was with Scottish Opera, we toured up to Abu Dhabs. I might have told this story in a previous one, I can't remember. But then I can't remember films 2 days ago, so God knows. When I was with Scottish Opera, you had to find your own digs. And we went to Aberdeen. And Aberdeen, at that time, many, many years ago, gave me the willies a bit. Can't explain why. Mainly the rain, the greyness of everything, and the slightly, don't know, it was a lot of oil workers. It felt slightly ominous, but it was mainly scary because I'd booked myself into this sort of B&B up there, which I didn't know the place. So I booked it, and it was really horrendous. It was up these, everybody was oil workers. Not that that's a problem that they're oil workers, but there was a sort of sheen everywhere, and all of the hand, you know, like the banisters going up, there was like a sheen of oil. And then my room was at the top, and you shared a bathroom, and you went to the top, and it was like this windy little stairs, and I had this tiny little room with a little sink in the corner. And I went to the bathroom once and thought, oh no, it was just absolutely horrendous, the bathroom was. Because it was shared by about 8 other rooms. Anyway, so I decided that in the night when I needed a wee, I couldn't go out into that bathroom, because it just, obviously I was much younger then, and I'm not a scaredy cat or anything, but I can't explain. It felt ominous. So I tried to wee in the sink. I tried to get my leg up onto the sink, this tiny little sink, and tried to wee in the sink, and virtually pulled it off the wall. Yeah, so that wasn't my finest hour, Eddie. And that's not really a tip, is it? It's not even really a tip. My tip is, don't try and wee in a sink in your room. It doesn't work. But so, yeah, it's probably why I'm not good at yoga and all that thing. I don't think I'm not elastic enough. And I don't have the right, it didn't work. So my tip is, it's nothing as practical, just don't wee in the sink. But I'm absolutely thrilled, Eddie, that you love this, and also surprised, but also thrilled. What else? Okay, so that's very pleasing. Keep writing, please, Eddie. Keep writing, and I'll think of something funnier. It is also because I've got the air conditioning off, and it's sort of stunting my brain. But look, I've stopped doing bloody edge pieces. Do what is wrong with you? Do the edge. I'm going to see how long I've been doing. Hold on. Oh, good. We're okay. Right, what else? So who else is right? I had so many emails, it's so pleasing. Eddie, okay, the Commodore of Carshalton Beaches. Commodore has written, he says, actually I'm going to bring it up, I've brought it up on my computer over here. Dearest darling Julia, all the common courtesies obviously, thank you for letting me know about your underwear. I see, I told you, he was just concerned, really, he just wants to make sure. Although my breasts now, I sort of kick them ahead of me, especially a whole week in lockdown, not wearing a bra at all, I will be kicking them ahead in the sand. I was alarmed and horrified in equal measure to learn that YouTube had allowed you to share your unique broadcasting style with viewers again. Well, that's because I've only got 87 people watching, isn't it? So nobody's reported me. So, what's the phrase? Alarmed and horrified that I'm still allowed to do this. Well, I'm going to keep on going. I was also astonished to find out that you're now embarking on a JigJaw tour. Well, yes, I've had to, because I thought, because I'd really sort of let everybody down massively by not completing the last one and Freddie putting away in a box because he got bored of seeing it, I wanted the space to do some core exercises on the floor because he's got really into exercising, so he wanted to use it as that, and he found the 5 Southend seafront tables apparently in the way of that. I said to him, well, I thought the whole point was that me and Dad were going to have this room and, I could do what I like in it. Turns out that's a fallacy and rubbish. So yes, I've had to bring my jigsaw on tour. I've had to do it because actually, what turns out, the Commodore, I'm not allowed to do it in my own home. Plus the fact I'm not there. So yeah, it worked for me. I think also, if it goes really well, then maybe we could stage manage a tour. Do you know what I mean? Maybe if it goes really, maybe if this really takes off, I could appear in different locations with it, and people can come and put their hands in. Maybe that's the goal. That's the goal, Commodore. And you will be first on the. Well, you could be you could allow people in or not, or question their mental health as they walk through, that sort of thing. What else? Are you limiting this tour to Abu Dhabi, or do you have plans to visit other Arab states so that they too could perhaps endure a live version of your episode? Well, I think that's rude now. I think the word endure is rude, and it makes me laugh because you're watching. So I don't know if you're writing such trolling behaviour again. Turns out you are strangely addicted to it, aren't you? So you can big fat shut up. Eddie from Australia. That's Eddy Spageddy. Eddie, I'll have to start speaking a bit more Australian for you, Eddie. Has contacted me recently. She said she's just discovered your channel and was going to subscribe. I told her not to. Thanks, the Commodore. Right. Well, there's nothing more to be said about that. Sometimes I think I like you, and then I realise that I don't. That's me saying that, not Eddie. That's me to the Commodore. I've heard from my mother-in-law. She is excited again about lockdown, but for many different reasons. They've been shielding and stuff because they're a bit older, and they've had their lovely neighbour Paul delivering stuff all the time, which has been gorgeous. But she's excited because she's going to start doing she's excited about her slot. And by that, I should explain her delivery slot. I should fill in that little kind of overarching innuendo blank. Because I don't know if you remember, if you listen diligently in the first few, my mother-in-law would always like to make the delivery drivers slightly surprised by what she was wearing. So, for example, sometimes she would just be, virtually naked, have nothing on. So this time, because it's become winter, in the summer, I think Jane felt she could sort of pretend she was just happening to be sunbathing naked in the garden. I think that's how she thought that she would, could explain to Tesco's or Iceland why she hadn't got any clothes on when the guy appeared. But this time she said she's just going to, let me just read it, I'm just going to tuck my vest into my knickers and see how we go. So Iceland again, the delivery driver's going to be slightly surprised when he delivers her Kerry Katona prawn ring. Isn't it? Do you know what I mean? When she is happening to be out there pretending to hang her washing out in her vest tucked into her knickers. I can only, I don't know what the local paper is, the Harlow Gazette or something, but I suppose we should all just keep a little eye out on the news for her to appear. Turn over the page. Right, Claire from Beckenham. Hang on, let me get her email up. Because I don't have a printer, you see, I have to turn my head. Maybe I should, hang on. Where's her? Hurrah for JigJaw. Let me see. Right, because my computer's so old, if I unplug it, it goes off. So I'll have to try and get this email read out. Dear Julia, how wonderful to see and hear you back from your isolation room in Abu Dhabi. Thank you. Thank you, Claire from Beckenham. Much nicer, isn't it, than the Commodore's introduction and reintroduction. Firstly, congratulations on your Star Wars-esque opening titles. Most impressive. Well, thanking you. There is no choice, as I think you might have seen. Basically, as I went to put the music on the front and music on the end and a couple of titles, it became apparent that I hadn't bought the hard drive. Freddie had done the titles sequence for me before, but it involved taking it off a hard drive, changing it, putting it back on a hard drive. Didn't bring it, didn't occur to me, absolutely none. Fortunately, iMovie supplies little title things. Oh, I can't stop writing on those. To the point I've had to extend the opening to get all my chit-chat in at the beginning. But thank you for that, Claire from Beckenham. It felt like very familiar territory as I cooked bangers and mash, listening to your familiar tones, episode 41, and the thoughts of the impending lockdown in my head. However, you did cause me some concern as it was quite clear you were overheating. Please leave the aircon on. Well, you say that. She says, I'm sure JigJaw fans won't mind some background noise for the sake of your health. I'm also concerned for your back and circulation with the current JigJaw position. If you don't have a table large enough, maybe investigate some yoga positions that would suit JigJawing on the floor. Well, I'm going to put the air conditioning on and see what you think. Hang on. See, we have to see if that's too loud. Maybe you can't hear it. I think it's too loud. The thing is, it was so cold earlier that I had to put my flight socks on. Also, my nipples were erect for about an hour, so I didn't think that was good, that I'd be poking around the jigsaw bits with my erect nipples from cold. So, I don't know, it might be a bit loud. I'm going to keep it on for the last few minutes of this and see how it goes. Fair enough. Yoga. I don't think doing the downward dog while JigJawing is appropriate. And also, if I get stuck, I can't let anyone in. If I get stuck in a yogic position, Claire, I'm stuck here for days. I can't get out. I can't alert anybody. They'll just think I'm sleeping. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to be a bit wary of that because I have got wedged before, but that was a long time ago, and I don't think I could do it again. And mainly that involved being naked playing Twister. Another concern, says Claire, is your jigsaw choice. Although rather beautiful, not any words, faces, specific objects in sight, and just a blend of pastels. I like the colour sorting, and may I suggest in addition to that, JigJaw shape sorting. Jigsaw shape sorting. What? Jigsaw shape sort. I can't even say it. This will make the trial and error process that you will clearly have to take in order to finish it a lot less time consuming. I don't know what you mean. The jigsaw shape sorting. Well, I think, do you mean edge pieces? Do you mean what Scott means? I'm going to do edge pieces. I literally don't know what you're talking about, Claire, but you do actually end it saying, right, I'm boring myself now and the kids are back to school tomorrow, I must get to bed. I can only assume you're back to your really heavy drinking regime, because I don't think anybody knows what you're talking about with the jigsaw sorting shape sorting. None of us know what you're talking about. But I think I'll just do the edge pieces. I think even Scott from Scotland, who's known for, very much being wasted on Socky Hall Street outside Dino's before it closed down due to everybody saying, can we shut down Dino's because everybody being sick outside. Even Scott from Scotland can speak more coherently than you. So, although I liked your initial warm-up, like the nice fluffing and the fact you're enjoying it, I then start to worry about your drinking, and you do have 2 children. So I might just keep an eye on you there, Claire. I don't know what we're talking about. My back does hurt though. I do have a dead leg now. We'll have to see whether the air conditioning affects anybody's, whether the actual marvel of this is affected by the air conditioning. And I am absolutely going to have to do more of this. I really laughed when I realised that unless I get my act together and do stuff outside of this filming, I'm never going to finish this again. So I'm going to love you and leave you. I put my bling. Oh, I've got to turn. Hang on. I put my bling on for you all. I hope you appreciate that, because there's no reason at all to dress up in my room. Nobody's coming in. I don't see anybody. They leave bags of food outside the door, then they run away. So this is all for you. This is my tag. And also, I'm going to ask Bethany, my daughter, if you're listening, can you get my wedding rings? I measured my finger before I came out, and it's a U. My fingers are so fat now. That's why I can't wear my wedding rings, because I swell up. And I feel panicky. I get like trapped in my drawer. But these are massive. But I keep swelling up. Don't know why. Don't know whether it's an old age thing or just I swell up. So that's why I can't wear my rings. So could you get Dad? I know he's got a lot on, but get them enlarged to size U. I think that might be big enough. Right. I love you all. I leave you all. Oh, this is Gradient. This is JigJaw. See ya. Keep writing. Love you.